Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're taking a fresh look at small talk. Now, most of you listening, you're seasoned communicators. I know you probably think, yeah, small talk, it's important.
Yeah.
But what if there are hidden patterns, subtle strategies that can turn what feels like, polite fluff into something genuinely powerful for
Hmm.
influence, connection, maybe even for getting ahead at work? We want to go beyond the basics here. Really uncover the architecture of casual chat.
That's right. Because these little exchanges, talking about the weather, what you did on the weekend, that sort of thing, they aren't just pleasantries. What's really fascinating is that they're kind of like the social operating system, the basic protocol that, well, pretty much every meaningful interaction runs on. So this deep dive isn't just about what small talk is. We're going to try and pull back the curtain on why it's such a core skill and, crucially, give you some really actionable ways to master it.
Okay, so foundational skill. Got it. Our mission today, then, is pretty clear. We need to unpack why small talk is actually a big deal, explore its common patterns, maybe the psychology behind why they work, and then, equip you with practical phrases, techniques, things you can actually use. The goal is to move past feeling swamped by info and get you confidently, maybe even strategically, applying this stuff. Ready to see small talk differently? Let's unpack it.
Let's do it.
So if small talk is everywhere, the obvious question is, why? Why do we do this seemingly trivial little dance? And the truth, it seems obvious, but maybe we forget, is that it's kind of a necessary first step, right? I mean, think about it. You meet someone new, you wouldn't just launch into, I don't know, geopolitics.
Yeah.
Or some complex business thing. No way. We all know that would feel, well, intense, a bit much.
Yeah.
But then why do so many of us dread it?
That's such a good point. We often dread it because we maybe misunderstand what it's for. Its main job isn't really about swapping deep information. It's to create connection, make people feel comfortable, establish that basic social contract. It's like the social lubricant, easing people into talking. And there's this principle of reciprocity too, right? You offer a little something, low risk.
Like talking about the weather.
Exactly. And you gently invite the other person to do the same. You start building that rapport slowly. And it's not just for parties or networking, it's everywhere. Offices, schools, waiting for coffee, in line at the shops, daily life.
Daily life.
And get this, the communication experts reckon that something like 70%, a huge 70% of conversations in English-speaking countries actually start with small talk.
70%. Wow.
Yeah. So if you let that sink in, if you're skipping small talk or trying to avoid it, you're literally missing the doorway to a massive chunk of everyday communication.
Okay, so it's the handshake before the deal, the smile before the real talk. Hearing that 70% figure, it might make small talk sound even more daunting for some listeners. Like, oh, great, something I'm bad at is everywhere.
Mhm. But you suggested something interesting earlier, that it's actually surprisingly easy to learn. How can that be true if it feels so tricky? Are we just memorizing lines, or is it more like understanding the game mechanics? You mentioned a social cheat code.
Right, okay, good question. The social cheat code, it's not about memorizing scripts, not at all. It's more about understanding let's call it the flow state of conversation, and spotting these predictable patterns. These patterns aren't random. They kind of tap into what psychologists call cognitive ease, things our brains find easy to process.
Cognitive ease, okay.
Yeah, they're usually about things everyone can see or relate to, low threat,
Wow.
offering quick common ground. It lets our brains quickly establish a sort of, okay, this is safe, this is friendly signal. It's like a series of little nods and invitations, like when you offer a small detail about yourself.
Sure thing you enjoyed the sunshine over the weekend. Exactly. You're not just sharing info. You're giving the other person a kind of conversational anchor, something for them to grab onto. Once you start seeing these structures, these patterns, you can use them almost without thinking in loads of situations.
Okay, so let's talk specifics. Those predictable patterns, those go-to topics. You said they're safe, friendly, and almost universally applicable. You mentioned 5 core ones. What makes these 5 so reliable? Why these particular anchors?
That's a great question, because it's not just about being safe, it's deeper than that. They work because they need almost zero prior knowledge about the other person.
Right.
And they usually involve things everyone experiences or observes, like the weather.
Yeah.
So both people can chip in without feeling awkward or put on the spot.
Makes sense. So what's the first one? The classic.
The absolute classic, the weather. So simple. Bit chilly today, isn't it? Or looks like rain later. It's low threat. If they agree, maybe you add, makes you want to stay inside with a coffee, right? Just a little something extra.
Okay, weather. Got it. What's next?
Then there's work or school. A simple, how's work going, or busy week is standard. If they say yes or seem positive, you could follow up with, oh yeah, anything interesting happening, or working on anything exciting.
Right, keeps it open.
Then, hobbies. These are great for finding that common ground. Do you watch much TV or read any good books lately? If they say yes to movies, for instance, you could ask, oh, really, seen anything good recently? Or maybe, are you more into comedies or dramas?
Good follow-ups.
And looking ahead, especially later in the week, weekend plans are perfect. Any plans for the weekend? Or doing anything fun this weekend? If they mention something, you can just react simply, oh, that sounds nice or sounds busy, and maybe add, looking forward to it.
Nice and light. And the last one.
Travel. This can often spark more interesting chat. Been anywhere nice recently, or even planning any trips? Or a bit broader, dreaming of going anywhere special? These 5 are, your core toolkit.
That's really helpful. And you mentioned a key principle here. It's not about giving long answers, right? The goal isn't a full report on your job or your holiday photos. It's about keeping it light, keeping it flowing. You called it the +1 principle. Answer, then add one small thing.
Exactly. The +1 principle. Answer the question, then add just one a little extra bit of relevant detail or a feeling. It keeps the door open for them. So if someone says, wow, it's hot today, isn't it? You don't need to give the 5-day forecast. You just say something like, yeah, it really is. I can hardly believe it's only May.
Okay.
See? You agree? Then add a little personal observation. Keeps it alive, keeps it moving, but doesn't make it heavy. It's like a gentle back and forth, a volley, not a lecture.
A gentle volley. I like that. We've talked about the theory, the +1, the volley. But let's make it really concrete. We've all been stuck in that awkward silence, right? Or the endless weather loop. So let's listen to how it could sound when it flows naturally. Imagine 2 colleagues, Sarah and John, meeting by the coffee machine. Totally normal situation. So Sarah might start, hey, how's your morning going?
And John could reply, pretty good, thanks. Just grabbing some coffee. How about you? Simple start.
Same here. By the way, did you see the weather today? It's finally warming up. See? Smooth transition.
Yeah, I noticed. Makes me want to go for a walk later. Do you like walking in the park? Okay, notice that. He answered, added a personal touch, and asked a question back.
I do. In fact, they usually go on weekends. And boom, the conversation can continue from there.
See how that flows? Simple questions, short answers, but always with that little extra bit or another question to keep it moving. It doesn't feel forced.
Right. And that opener, how's your morning going? It's not just hello, it's an invitation, isn't it?
Exactly. Low pressure, everyone gets it, creates a shared moment.
And when Sarah pivots to the weather, by the way, that's a neat little transition phrase.
Yeah, it signals a slight shift, invites John into a new, safe topic.
And John's reply, yeah, I noticed. Makes me want to go for a walk later.
Yeah.
That's the +1 right there.
Perfect example. He answers, adds the walk detail, and then crucially asks a question back. Do you like walking in the park? He hands the conversational ball right back.
It relies on listening too, doesn't it? Not just waiting to speak.
Absolutely. Active listening.
Yeah.
Hearing the words, but also listening for those little openings, those threads you can gently pull on to keep it going.
Okay, so that difference between a yes-no dead end and an open door response. That's where the real, the magic is. So how can listeners start doing that themselves?
Yeah.
There's like a toolkit. And what happens if a topic just fizzles out? How do you switch tracks smoothly?
Right. Okay, this gets us to the practical how-to. How do you add that detail without feeling like you're rambling? And yes, there's definitely a toolkit. Let me give you that contrast first, though, for the +1. Remember the question. Do you like walking in the park?
Okay.
If you just say yes, full stop, where does the other person go?
Nowhere, really. It just hangs there. Awkward.
Exactly. Conversational dead end. But if you say, yes, I do, I usually go on weekends. Suddenly, there are options. They can ask which park, what you like about it, what else you do on weekends. That tiny bit of extra info keeps the ball rolling. It shows you're open to chatting more.
Okay, so the toolkit.
Yeah.
What phrases should people have ready?
Right, the toolkit. These are super simple but really effective. Let's break them down. First, to start small talk. Hi, how's it going? Or how are you doing? Classic, friendly, always works. Hey, nice weather today, isn't it? Or crazy weather we're having. Safe, observational. Maybe if you know them a bit, long day. Or how was your commute? Shows empathy. Or a general one, have you been busy lately? Invites more than a one-word answer.
Okay, those are good starters. What about keeping it going?
Right, to continue small talk, show you're listening. Really, that sounds interesting, fun, challenging. Shows engagement. Oh, I know what you mean. Or, yeah, I get that. Builds connection, finds common ground, wow, that must be exciting, tough, reflects their feeling back. And the absolute essential, what about you? Or how about you? Turns it back to them, shows interest, keeps it balanced.
Crucial one, that. And then how to get out gracefully.
Yes, to end small talk politely because you often need to. Anyway, I should probably get back to it. Or, well, I better let you go. Clear, polite signal, it was really nice talking with you, leaves a positive feeling. Or more casually, okay, catch you later. Or, see you around. Friendly sign off.
That's a great list.
Ah.
And transitioning between topics. If the weather chat dies down.
Often it's just a simple bridge phrase. Like after talking weather, you could say, well, speaking of being outside, got any plans for the weekend?
Ah, okay.
Or maybe, that reminds me, how's that project going you mentioned last week? These little phrases just smooth the jump.
You know, what's great about these is how simple they are. You don't need fancy words. Just having these ready, practicing them a bit. It must build confidence, right? Stop you feeling stuck.
Absolutely. It makes a huge difference. You start navigating these interactions much more smoothly.
All right, time for action. It's your deep dive challenge. We've laid out the ideas. Now it's your turn to actually do something with them. That's where the real learning sticks. We've got 3 simple steps for you. Ready? Step 1. Just pick one small talk topic from our list. Weather, work, hobbies, weekend, travel. Whichever feels easiest for you right now. Step 2. Write down a super short conversation. Just a few lines back and forth between 2 imaginary people. Make sure your line includes that +1 principal answer and add a little extra. Step 3, and this is really important, say it out loud. Practice actually speaking the lines. Don't just read them silently. Listen to how it sounds, your tone, your pacing.
And that brings up a good point. How can you make this practice even better? Well, if you can, try practicing with a friend. Role play it. That real back and forth, even if it's just pretend, is incredibly valuable for building that natural flow.
Good idea. But what if you don't have someone handy?
Don't let that stop you. Record yourself. Seriously. Use the voice memo app on your phone. Listening back to yourself. Hearing your own voice. Where you pause naturally, how you link words. It's such a powerful tool for improvement. It helps you spot things you wouldn't otherwise notice. It builds that self-awareness about how you sound, not just what you say. And that's like half the battle with small talk.
That's great advice. Recording yourself. Okay, as we start to wrap this up, any final words of encouragement? Here's one from me. Seriously, don't be afraid of small talk. It's really not about being perfect. Your grammar doesn't need to be flawless. You don't have to sound like a native speaker if you're not one. It's really about being friendly, making that effort, showing you're open and willing to connect. Honestly, people will appreciate the effort way more than they'll notice a small grammar slip. That warmth, it goes a really long way.
Couldn't agree more. Confidence in these moments, it really does trump perfect grammar. Remember the goal, it's connection, not a thesis defense. So take what we've talked about today, notice those topics, have those key phrases handy, remember the +1, and just start. Start those small conversations. You'll genuinely be surprised how quickly your skills grow and how much more comfortable you feel.
And maybe leave you with this thought to chew on. What could actually open up for you if you mastered these seemingly small interactions, this social operating system? What new connections, new opportunities, how might that ripple out, changing your day-to-day, your comfort, maybe even your career? The power of small talk, it's bigger than you might think.